So, what is going on at Rangers? Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen, the channel that brings you your team every single day for absolutely nothing. For free, all you've got to do is hit that notification and ring the... No, I hate the notification. That's wrong. Hit the subscribe and ring the notification even. Let's get it right from the beginning. As I talked about, well, there's two videos we released yesterday, guys. Please go back and check them out. Obviously, it was the latest news video and a news video about Michael Beale having 5 games to allegedly save his job. Like I said, John Bennett seems to not want to move to sack Beale, despite the fact that we've had a pretty awful start to the season. 4 points behind Celtic already and out of the Champions League. You know, already the fact that 2 of the 3 things that Michael Beale said he wanted to achieve, he has failed already. Now, he has earned that reprieve. Whether he deserves the reprieve, obviously, is open to discussion. The calibre of football we've played so far has been absolutely awful. I can't remember a single minute of football where I've gone, yes, that was quality football, Rangers, well done. It's been pretty poor so far. So Michael Beale has earned a reprieve and he's got 5 games pretty much to turn it around. So go back and check out the video where I talk about what is needed in the next 5 upcoming games that we have against St Johnstone, Real Betis, Motherwell, Livingston, and of course, Aberdeen. Now, there is still continuing speculation around our players, which, considering the transfer window closed about 7 days ago, why is there still continuing talk about players leaving the club? Well, it appears, like I said on the video about Borna Barasic the other day, that the transfer window across Europe is not standardized, and the transfer window seems to be a very movable feast for a number of countries. The latest rumours are around Turkish left back, the Turkish Kamaruf himself, Mr. Ridvan Yilmaz. Now, Ridvan, who was signed last summer for that £4 million fee with the very high expectations of what he would bring to the club. Thought of very highly in Turkey, thought of one of the most promising young Turkish players for a while. However, he hasn't really kind of lived up to expectations at Rangers, not because of his performances, more because of the fact that he has struggled with his availability due to injury. He's missed an awful lot of time over last season and already this season. Now, according to reports emanating from Turkey, Besiktas want to take Ridvan Yilmaz on a season-long loan before their September the 15th deadline. That's right, a different transfer window in Turkey. So it's today in Croatia. It was yesterday in Saudi. It's the 15th in Turkey. Weird. Anyway, now, according to reports, and again, these are only reports, and I know, don't say anything. Every report in the media and what our manager says has to be taken with a little pinch of salt. Now, according to reports coming out of Turkey, Rangers are willing to allow Ridvan Yilmaz to leave on loan. Writing on their official website, a Turkish news outlet reported that Rangers will let the 22-year-old left back leave temporarily after not a very unimpressive debut campaign and a very obviously issues over his availability due to injury. Yilmaz has only played once this season as a substitute, and is seemingly, according to Turkish media, behind Borna Barasic and Dujon Sterling in the pecking order. Obviously, he was on the bench for the Old Firm game on Sunday, and Dujon Sterling got the start ahead of him. Now, according to the reports, Michael Beale is happy for him to leave on loan to get more match time, to get more experience, to get more fitness into his legs, and to play more football. But the final decision is very much down to Ridvan. What was written in the Turkish media was Besiktas possibility arose again for Ridvan Yilmaz, who was transferred from Besiktas to Rangers at the beginning of last season. The 22-year-old left back only played 8 matches in the Scottish League and made 2 assists. According to the information, the Scottish club will allow Ridvan to leave on loan. If the player looks positively on this situation, he can wear his Besiktas jersey again. Now, this is certainly an interesting report, but we all know how the Turkish media do seem to like to, make things up. They obviously had the Morelos going there, then he didn't. They did get the Kent thing right, I suppose. They rumoured Hadji to Trabzon, that didn't come off. So there's obviously, not a lot of interest. And, Besiktas have been a team that have been in pursuit of Ridvan Yilmaz quite a lot. Now, I personally think that at this point in the season, we don't allow players to leave, Ridvan or Borna or whoever, because Well, actually, no, Borna's a different case. I'll come on to him in a minute. But Ridvan, because look, if we allow him to leave, how do we replace him at this moment in time? I suppose we've got Dujon, we've got Adam Devine, but both of those guys are naturally right-footed. And as we saw on Sunday, it changes the dynamic of the team when you have right-footers playing on the left. It always then comes back into the middle and crowds that middle, especially when you need width. And with the fullbacks being very much about giving the width to the team this year, you know, allowing someone like Ridvan who can get to the byline, who can cross the ball in, you know, to leave, I think would be a very strange decision. Like I said, it is Turkish media. We do need to take these reports with a very huge pinch of salt. This obviously comes on the back of the reports regarding Borna Barisic. Now, as I spoke to you yesterday on a video yesterday about Borna Barisic being wanted by Dinamo Zagreb. Now, Barasic is a player who, over the last 2 seasons, hasn't performed to his previous levels, yet this season seems to be getting back to his previous levels, so the 55 season, and seems to be Michael Beale's first choice. He certainly seems to be one of the manager's favourites. Obviously, Borna's substitution, shall we say, against PSV because of his injury, in inverted commas, has caused controversy with a number of Rangers fans, including myself, calling him out for that, saying that he was not genuinely injured and he was a bit of a bottle job. He then didn't play against Celtic, but now has made a miraculous recovery to play for Croatia. Does seem a little bit sus. Now, one former Ranger has called for Borna to be cashed in on, and that's that man again. Here he's back. He almost has a daily slot on this channel, doesn't he? Actually, he should come and join Glasgow Rangers Nation. We talk about him so often. Barry Ferguson has said that Rangers should cash in on Borna Barasic if, here's the key word, he isn't likely to sign a new contract before his current deal expires. You know, this, like I said, he didn't play in either of those games and allegedly failed a fitness test, and then he's all right to play for his national team, which does seem utterly bizarre. Barasic has, as I said a short while ago, has been the subject of interest from Dinamo Zagreb, who, though, have doubted whether they can get their deal done today. But Barry Ferguson believes that they should cash in on Borna Barasic, that he is a saleable asset, and we shouldn't obviously be facing a situation as we were last summer when obviously the likes of Kent and Morelos walked for nothing. He said, if you're not fit for the weekend over the years, players who are not available have not played for their national team, so it caught me by surprise. He's in the final year of his contract and the Croatian window is still open. If he is not looking to sign and Michael Beale does not want him to sign a long-term contract, then I think you have got to look to cash in. So it does seem like we do have to reach a decision, but it is quite worrying that both of our left backs are being linked with moves away from the club still. Now, I obviously do think that, again, we have to take all this with a pinch of salt. It is the media. We know how the media love to report Rangers stories. Why do they love to report Rangers stories? Well, they get lots of clicks because they report Rangers stories. That's where we're at with that. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? At the end of the day, it really is a very interesting conversation to have about what is the future of Borna Barasic and what is the future of Ridvan Yilmaz. Now, Ridvan, obviously the concerns over Ridvan are very much around his health and his fitness and his ability to cope with Scottish football. But then again, he is a quality player. He's exciting when he has played. He's looked like a decent player. So does he not deserve an opportunity? However, like I said, it appears to be that Rangers are going to allow him to leave on loan. Then you've got the Borna Barasic situation, which obviously you've got the whole mystery over him suddenly being fit again for his club. You've got his bad performances in the last 2 years. Now he's in the last year of his contract. We suddenly have seemed to have the old Borna back. Now, is that just because he wants a new contract, or is that because he's actually quite a good player? Where are we up to with that? Why are both players being linked with? It's all very confusing with what is going on with the club, at this moment in time. Look, it's a very interesting one. It's a tricky one. Personally, I think if we could get 2 to 3 million for Borna Barasic now, I'd sell him. I'd let him leave if he's not going to sign that contract. I'd keep Ridvan Yilmaz, though I wouldn't allow him to leave on loan. I would see him as being our best option at left back. He is a better player than Borna Barasic for me. He does tackle better than Borna Barasic. He does track back better than Borna Barasic. Borna's delivery is better than Ridvan's, but essentially you've got a player who's a left back who's there to defend. Ridvan is a better defender than Barasic. So, it swings and roundabouts certainly, but I would personally be keeping Ridvan and selling Borna Barasic. Look, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one. Very much a difficult one indeed. Like I said, I'd love to know what you've got to say about this. What would you say? What is the situation with these two players? What would you like to see happen with these two players as regards their futures at Rangers? Do you want to see them leave? Do you want to see them maintain their position? Now, one rumour that seems to be repeatedly not going away, and it's in a lot of the West Midlands press, living in the West Midlands as I do, linking John Eustace with the Rangers job. A number of sources have said that if it was offered to him, he would find it a very difficult job to turn down. There is also reports coming out of the United States that Wayne Rooney, who is currently managing DC United, has been approached to take over Birmingham City if Eustace leaves and goes to Rangers. So it's an odd one, isn't it? A very odd one. Where has this story come from? Yes, I know it's because Michael Beale's under pressure, and I understand that, but why suddenly has this name of John Eustace come out of left field? Where has this name come from? It seems a very odd one for me. It seems so out of left field, it's untrue. And, it's almost so out of left field that it could actually be true. And that's the weirdness of this situation. It's a tricky one. John Eustace has done an okay job at Birmingham. He's not done a brilliant job at Birmingham. He's got no links with Rangers, so it's not like he's an ex-player and that's why he's been linked like the Kevin Muscat link. And it does seem, like I said, to have come particularly out of left field. He is very much a manager. He hasn't had a lot of managerial experience, certainly not any at the top level. And he had a couple of years with Kidderminster Harriers, who are a non-league team down here. Then at times as an assistant and a caretaker at QPR before being an assistant with the Republic of Ireland, and then obviously a Birmingham manager since 2022. So like I said, his track record is not great and he hasn't got a vast amount of experience. I really don't understand where this rumour has come from and why he has been linked with a move to Rangers. It certainly seems an extremely bizarre rumour, extremely interesting one, shall we say. Very, very weird indeed. But hey, look, it'll work itself out. Like I said, at this moment in time, it doesn't look like we're ready to move on from Michael Beale. It looks like Michael Beale will be keeping his job. So I think, talk of successors, talk of who should be the next Rangers manager very much needs to be put onto the back burner for now. Despite what the anger, I think, and the toxicity there is there amongst the fan base towards Michael Beale at this moment in time. Well, it's a weird one, isn't it, guys? We've obviously got to use these 2 weeks to rebuild, to get the team moving in the right direction. I think we've got to make the right team selections as well when we return to action against St Johnstone. As I've mentioned on previous videos, I think Danilo needs to be given a chance to play now. He does need to be given the opportunity. Dessus has failed. It's time for Danilo to be given the chance to play instead. And I would go with two up top, Danilo and Roof, and give them a real chance to really go after teams. And I think, when you're playing the likes of, of St Johnstone, you really do need to be beating them quite soundly, especially for Michael Beale keeping his job. Let me think of the stories we've covered in this morning, afternoon, this evening. Please pick up. Please hit that channel to keep on growing and ring the bell so you never miss out on the fantastic content. As always, 2 things I need you to do. Number 1, remember,